What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new episode of Something in the Water podcast. I am Cracka, like this
I
is.
am Desko Martin.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Definitely. So my car just stalled out right before I got here.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it's this time. I think it's transmission issues before it was electrical. So just thinking about that. What about you?
Yeah, it's computer in the recording studio right now is I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. I'm in
Yeah.
the process of completely reinstalling Windows and reinstalling everything all. The camera right there I'm
Mm-hmm.
shooting with, it's messing up when we put certain lenses on. It's powering
Yeah.
off. So, got some
Yeah. A day of stuff not working.
yeah. Yo, I had an idea so me and Alyssa, we went to dinner. We went to dinner at like 7:00.
Yeah.
And then I gave her the iPad that I was talking about. So I made a switch. I've been Android my whole life.
Team iPhone.
And now I'm an iPhone guy.
Yeah.
So I got an
Show it
iPhone.
off. Show it off. Oh, where is it? Where is it?
Right here.
Yeah.
So I got the iPhone 15 Pro
Mhm.
Max. And then while I was at it, I got a iPad, whatever, the 10th generation one. And I got it because I thought it'd be cool. And I
Yeah.
know that the devices like connected and AirDrop and all that type of stuff. But then Alyssa said that she really wanted one. And I was like, I'll give you the iPad if we can go to the studio. So she was like, deal.
Yeah.
So we came to the studio and so we got here at about 8:30 and I left at 3:30 in the morning. So that is that was 7 hours. And yeah, it was troubleshooting Windows computer. And I told her, and I should have did this, but I'm doing it right now. I was like, you should record a video of me walking back and forth, because that's what I was doing. I was just pacing back and forth in the studio for like 4 hours, just waiting on the computer. And I was like, this is the side of entrepreneurship that no one shows and talks about. All they share is the wins, but like, this is the reality of it was date night, Saturday night. We were going to stop at the studio for an hour and a half, maybe 2 at the most. I was like, I just got to mix a song and I want to make a beat, like 2 hours. And yeah, it was 6 or 7 hours troubleshooting a computer, didn't figure it out, realized like, well, I know one way to fix it is to completely wipe everything out. And I don't know where I was going. You had talked about
just stuff not working.
That happening. And
Still not working.
Still not working right now. I like reinstall Windows and it's running slow.
So how have you been dealing with that mentally?
I think just
You still feel good?
yeah, it sucks when you know that like time is money and you want to be productive and like always being productive, and this feels like moving backwards. It's like it's not making more money or working with more people or doing stuff. It's like dusting or vacuuming or cleaning or like
Yeah.
so I'm reinstalling software that was just working a week ago. So it's like getting your car dirty to just clean it right after, when you think of like it was just clean and working or running. I don't know. How does your car messing up got you feeling?
At this point, I feel like I definitely need a new car. When you have certain car insurance, you get reimbursed by every time you tow your car. So like every time I tow my car, if I keep the receipt, they'll send you a reimbursement check of whatever the tow cost. I've towed my car within the last 2 months about, I would say, 6 times.
What?
And it's cost about $80 to $95. This last one was $95 per tow. And I've never kept the receipts. And so now, since today I'm going to have to tow it again, I'm like, all right, I need to go find all those receipts.
Yeah.
It's like potentially like $500.
Yeah.
And so between that, getting it back, I got it back Friday, and now today, it seems to be the transmission went out or something. But it's frustrating, but I think just still like understanding that everything I have, everything myself, my health is good, my mindset is good, and, I'm comfortable. I feel like as long as you're okay with yourself, everything else is kind of like, it's not that it doesn't matter, but everything else is okay.
Shit, it reminds me of that episode we did with Mondo, the fighter,
Yeah.
where he was talking about it comes with the territory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you think about it, like having a car
Mm-hmm.
is great when it's running and
Yeah.
working, but then
Yeah.
once in a while it's not running, but
Yeah.
it's also part of having a car. You know,
Yeah.
it's not gonna last forever, and it sucks when it happens, but you can't be surprised or act like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think just the way you have to set yourself up in life, if anything does happen, computer issues or whatever, like you're still in a good place where it's like, okay, if I have to buy a computer, I will, or if I have to get a new car, I will, you know?
Yeah. You know that there's certain people out there that like if you tell them what you want, then they like go and get it a certain way, and then like that you just give them half the money. And I was thinking about
Oh, yeah.
there's maybe a Mac. What'd you
Yeah.
say, M2?
Yeah, the M2 chip.
If you were to get like a monster, don't they make computer in a box now? Like Apple, it's like a little
Yeah. Yep. It's
interface
just,
looking thing.
Yeah.
What's that called?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Mac box M2 something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so like what's crazy is if I was looking for one of those things and someone out there knows someone that does that type of stuff,
Yeah.
and then it's like crazy because if you happen to get it and then you DM me on Instagram at Cracka_lack, and then like if I were to give you the money for it, then I have a new computer. I think that's crazy that people do that, you know?
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if anybody, you know, does the same thing with vehicles, no, just
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this month has been, like we already been talking about it. I feel like the past year defeated. I feel like this week it feels kind of defeating, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just like still, it's damn near like when you feel defeat so long, you start to become comfortable in it. And it's damn near like you're not okay with feeling defeated, but in a sense, like you're okay with the feeling of feeling defeated because then you know, like, it can only get better from here.
Yeah, I seen this video on YouTube. This dude was preaching.
Yeah.
I think it's Myron Gold or something. What did he say? I posted it today on Facebook, like summarize what he said.
Yeah.
He said, and he tied it back into the Bible, but he said, first comes anointed.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, like in the Bible, he told a story. I forgot the story, but basically, let's say first it's anointed, and then later you become appointed. So let's say anointed could be a vision you have, an idea you have, a thought, a desire, a goal, something that you, and it's like, oh, I feel like this is my purpose. Oh, I want to have a successful podcast. I'm anointing myself to become, I want to, the successful podcast. Appointed is when you get the thing and it's like, ooh, now I have it. And so he was like, what most people forget about, and it goes into the Bible, is in between those stages of anointed and appointed, it's right in the middle, and that's disappointed. But he said it's all part of the process because without disappointed, that's where you build your character going through the disappointed phase and become the person able to actually be appointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a
I
cool
like that.
thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, and he said most people, they want to have an idea or a thought and then it happens. So they're anointed and then appointed, boom, just like that. But he said, but then if it were to happen and you are appointed without that middle stage of like adversity, going through things, learning lessons, whatever, when you're appointed, you're going to fumble the bag. You're going to fumble the ball. You
don't know how to handle shit.
You're not ready for it. Exactly. And so that stage of disappointment. And he was like, so just know that when you're going through things and things are starting to get rough or there's like disappointment around you, like it's supposed to be there. Like that's all.
Yeah. Did you apply it to yourself as well?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you've been feeling that way, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. And so, with this computer, it was like, okay, I had sessions that were supposed to happen and just let them know, I mean, my computer does not work, so I can't record you. I'll let you know as soon as possible. It could be a day, it could be a week. I appreciate your patience.
How do you think people handle that? Are handling that?
They did good. They were like, no problem, don't worry about it. So I was like, all right, sweet, cool, that's good to know. Because if it is a customer that's like, well, this is BS, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, refund. Best of luck in the future.
Yeah.
I don't even want to deal with customers like that. That's where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not to fuck you money is like, I don't need you. I don't want to
Yeah,
work with
fuck
you.
yeah.
I'm not there. And I don't want to, I like a lot of people, not all people, but I like working with people and shit
Mhm.
like that. But it is cool to get to a stage where certain customers, if you know that they're going to be a headache or a handful, it's like, hey, I don't think we're a good fit. Best of luck in the
Mhm.
future. Have you ever had to do that?
Yeah.
What about like when you're doing music videos? Is that when you would have to do it or?
Yeah. I've had people. One particular person, I had them hit me up all the time for music videos, and I think at that time I actually had like, I think a family member had passed away. It was like a certain time where it was like a rough time for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I just took a while to respond. And this person knows me, but it got to a point where the person was like, "Hey man, I know you need money," and he was like, "That's why I'm trying to shoot a music video with you, because I'm really trying to help you out and I'm trying to pay you because I know you need it." And mind you, I know the person knows me, but they didn't know my personal life. Like, they were my friend 5 years prior, 6 years prior. And I was so dumbfounded. Like, it shocked me so much that I was just like, I'm never going to respond to this person again. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It turns into a point where it's like, when you deal with people that are not understanding, and I let them know. It took me a while to respond, and when I did respond, I let them know, like, hey, going through some things, really busy right now. I'll get back to you when I can. As of right now, I'm not shooting any videos. And then it went to that next, and then it just made me realize, like, some people aren't worth working with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
How, when you know, and you said you didn't respond, how do you fight the urge of like wanting to
Say something, or
say,
yeah.
because Alyssa struggles with that where let's say something happens and I'll tell her, based on what that person did, they're not capable of comprehending a
Mhm.
response.
Yeah.
But she's like, I just want to let them know that they're wrong because of this and they're wrong because of
Yeah.
this. And I'm like, no, the whole time you're going to explain it, they're going to go like this.
For sure.
And so you're scooping to their level by doing that. So you got to get over. I've gotten good at that. So
Yeah.
how did you do it back then?
I feel like just understanding that, like, you don't want to live in bad energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if I was to keep on responding, like, the only thing I'm gonna get back is another response. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, it turns into this thing where it's like, I want to correct you, but at the same time, like you said, even if I correct you, you might not even care to listen.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time, waste of energy, and then I'm just living in the fact that I explain myself to somebody who really doesn't care about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was hard for me in the beginning because I'm an over explainer.
Yeah,
You probably
me
get
too.
annoyed when I like tell
I'm super
stories.
over explainer.
I give so much context, probably context that's not even needed for the
Yeah.
story, but I just explain stuff. And yeah, there was a time where, not a time, hundreds of times,
Yeah.
but I remember one specific time a few years ago, or no, it was a year ago, and it was like a big industry guy, and he was like calling me, and I was trying to explain, I'm busy.
Yeah.
But then I think a lot of people downplay it, or because they're like, nah, I would tell people I'm busy all the
Yeah,
time and
yeah.
I still have time. Hey, come on, bro, answer your fucking phone.
Yeah.
And so I'd like sent a screenshot of my calendar for the day just to let him see. It was like, gym this time to this time, studio session from noon to 3, another session from 3 to 7. Then we went to a wedding that night and it was 8 to something. I was like, bro, I can call you tonight. I'm in an appointment, like hourly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, I hated even
Yeah.
getting to that level of
Mhm.
like, why the fuck am I explaining myself to you right now?
Yeah.
And then I realized like, no, if I'm busy, I'm gonna say I'm busy.
Yeah.
And then I started, I say this a lot, like my personal life, people around me, about like how human we can train people. So like, let's say someone is interested in doing business with you and they write you a message. And let's say they're asking lots of questions.
Mhm.
Let's say in the beginning, they're like, hey, I'm interested in doing this. And you respond within 5 minutes. Yep, blah, blah, blah. Then they ask you another question within like a minute. And so then you respond again. Well, then they ask you another question. And then you kind of realize like, yo, this person's got time today. And it's going to be a lot of back and forth. So I try to do my put a lot of thought into my responses to where it's like, let me cover all my bases where I say, hey, if you're interested in studio time, I'm going to send you a link to go to the website and book a session. Any and all questions that you have will be answered on the website. If for some reason you still have a question, feel free to contact me, no problem. And then it might be someone that's interested in beats and videos and studio times and coaching calls and this course or that course. And so it's just like, hey, I'm going to send you links to everything. Every link I send you will have all the information you need. If you still have questions afterwards, respond. Or even like reaching out to film, it might be, I'm not available Sunday, but are you available Monday? If so, can we do this time?
Yeah.
If not, can we do Tuesday at this time? If not, then can we do Thursday?
Yeah.
If all three of those don't work, then let me know what works with you the following.
Yeah. I think that's why I really mesh with people that respect time. Like, I feel like with you, I know if I give you a call, you might not answer the first time. And if you do, it might mean you're not busy at the time. But if you don't, like, I don't take it personal. I'm thinking like, oh, he's probably busy. He'll hit me later. And usually, like lately, you've always hit me back later. And the same thing, if I don't answer, I'm going to hit you right back. And I think everybody needs to be kind of, more thinking about the other person when in those moments, because definitely I feel like if you there starts to be like resentment, like if the guy was like, man, I don't care if you're busy. It's damn near like, then you're thinking like, dude, I don't want to work with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yep. So there's a lot of importance to, I think, with the consumer and being the person who's, doing the service. I definitely think there needs to be respect.
For sure.
For sure. There's no respect. There's no point working with each other.
Oh, where was a time? I feel like if you're ever the slightest disrespected, and didn't you say that like any past jobs that you had, whenever there was any type of disrespect, that was when you quit?
Yeah. It's always been, even because I just feel like if you allow yourself to get disrespected, especially in the workplace or with whatever service you're offering, like nobody's gonna respect you from there forward, if that makes sense. Like, I've even shoot music videos. I've had people call me, blow up my phone, or hey, when's the video gonna be done? Or hey, this, or I need you to come out of town with me this weekend, and I'm gonna pay you this, and I have a whole schedule going on, and being like,
not available.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do that, and then being like, what? You're on my team, or this and that, or we're not gonna do this anymore, or whatever. And it's just like, there's a certain point where you got to realize, like, if you have a business, you have a business, and you have to stick to the business. It's damn near like, if it's not the schedule, then I can't waste my time trying to even figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already set.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I remember a specific time. So I was doing a music video. Basically, a guy had found, or maybe asked around, or some way, somehow he found me and knew that I did music videos. And so typically how I was doing music videos back at this time, 6 years ago, was, you send me the song, we talk, music videos are kind of a price range between this and this. Okay, sounds good to me. Let's listen to the song. Let's talk ideas. Okay, to do something like that, it'll be around this price. Sounds good, deal, cool. So with this guy, he was kind of not secretive, but like, I got all the vision. I just need you there from this time to this time. And it was like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. And I'm just thinking like, he's got the vision, whatever. I'll go with it. It was really early in the morning, and this is by Old Town Sir Pizza, where the Grand River is right there. What's that called? Fish Ladder.
Yeah.
So we met at the Fish Ladder, and then I even had a model. Shout out to Lex J, because he needed a model for it. And I was like, okay, I can find a girl. Let's pay her X amount. All right, sounds good. So we meet there. Hey, Lex J, nice to see you. Okay, this is the artist. And, I'm like, it was his dad was the guy that like booked me.
Yeah.
He had, and so what I learned from this, the lesson is people don't know what they don't know. So if you've never used the camera before, you may not comprehend how these things work. And so that was the case where he was like, River. So he's like, I want my son singing on the microphone on one side of the river. Then I want her on the other side of the river, and she's looking at him. And I was like, okay, that's about 100 and something yards. you're not gonna. She's gonna look like an ant, a little speck on the camera.
Yeah.
No, but I want her. She's gonna be lip syncing the song, but then it shows him, and I was like, yeah, but
It's
that's
not
not
gonna
how
work.
you do
Yeah.
it. And then
Yeah.
he's like, well, you tell me something. It was he talked disrespectfully because he said something along the lines of what'd he say? Like, I thought this is like work for hire. This is my vision or something. I was like, right, but what you're asking for isn't possible. It's like fly and stand on the ground at the same time. You can't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Maybe, you
Yeah.
know? And he's like, oh. And I said, so normally how it works when I do a music video is I direct it and I film it and I edit it. And I understand what this is your son's song and you have a vision for it. And he's like, okay, well then, Mr. Director, what ideas do you have? I was like, okay. What time is it? He said the time. I was like, all right. So best of luck in the future. Here, Lex, if you want to pay her or whatever, but yeah, this is a wrap right here. I'm gonna get going. And back then I had a deposit. And I thought technically he shouldn't get his deposit back because the date, the time, whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't even want to
'Cause you don't want-
entertain anything.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
just like, hey, and even your deposit, great news. I'm gonna give you that back right now. He was like, oh, okay. When do you want to reschedule? I said, there ain't gonna be no rescheduling. So just best of luck in the future. I hope everything goes well with your music career. Here's your deposit. He's like, oh, huh. I was like, all right, we get in the car and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a specific time.
That's what's up, man.
I don't tolerate that
Yeah,
shit.
that's
man.
what I'm saying, man. I've definitely and you hear the stories about like I've heard the stories about other people in the video space getting disrespected and tolerating it, and where other people have been like, oh yeah, I did the same thing to him or whatever to the person. And it's just like, yeah, no, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going for that because it's like I feel like that's the only way to grow in a sense too is to create boundaries for yourself where.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is actually a business. We're not friends. This is not a team thing of every artist. Every artist I used to do music videos with was be like, you're on my team now. And damn near it felt like just because they said that I had to either give them a discount or be their friend to where it's like,
Or be available on
that's what I'm
command.
saying. Yeah. And yeah, establishing those boundaries early and letting people know that your time is worth what you're saying it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Because regardless, like you showing up, like you said, you really didn't have to give them the deposit back.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, going with that. Creating boundaries is the biggest thing for, I think, a business.
Yeah, we had something happen on Christmas Eve when I was upset with figuring out stuff
Yeah.
and overthinking
Yeah.
or whatever. So so I'm an asshole and I can get emotional and
Yeah.
I'm not like identifying myself as that. I'm saying that I have a bad habit of being an asshole and of letting my emotions get the best of me. So I want anyone and everyone around me to call me out on that.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
You know? Yeah, because that's not a good way to be. And I don't want anyone to like associate and think about me and be like, oh, you're talking about the guy that's disrespectful or something. It's like, no. I always want to be I always want to be as respectful as I possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah. And me, I'm not always the most polished person. So if I ever say anything out of line or somebody doesn't agree with, just let me know, like, hey, you were kind of tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of times I could feel super passionate about something and say something, and it just might come off the wrong way. Where really, I'm a nice guy, and I just want to make sure I spread enough good energy around. So
also, for you guys, we need your help with naming these episodes.
yes.
So I had the thought the other day of like, I see all these music artists that are independent and they're getting their fans involved.
Yeah.
And they have these communities that are like $5, $10, $20 a month. And it's called the whatever. Like if I had one, it'd be like the Crack Club or the Crack Gang, something like that.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're giving sneak peeks of their music. And they're also letting the fans decide what song should drop next. Or maybe, so I guess with the songs, they have their names. But it was like getting the fans involved and giving them a voice.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, well, one thing that we're struggling with is like naming these.
For sure.
So as you see, a lot of these, we kind of talk about 3 to 5 different things on every episode. So think about after you listen to every episode and be like, after listening to that, if I were to name it something, I think this episode should be named this. This is what stood out the most. And then on YouTube, if you agree with those titles, thumbs it up.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do is like whatever comments have the most thumbs up and stand out the most, take it into consideration because sometimes it could be like pretty pink pigs fly on January. It's like what the hell, and that gets a bunch of upvotes. And we're not gonna name it that, but that would be really helpful. So in the comments, help us out with that
For sure.
Yeah. What's your main thing that you're focused on this coming week?
This coming week, content. I feel like you've been telling me I need to post some more. Definitely just seeing our clips being posted and knowing that I live a very busy life, a life that I know I can make content out of. So just making sure I do that because I think a lot of people in general, I think, are interested in other people's lives. So I think I could take advantage of that in the sense of just showing the things I do, from editing to being here to showing up at the office, just different things.
Mm-hmm.
So content this week, I'm gonna make sure I start that.
That's good.
Yeah. What about you?
I would say putting out fires.
Flyers?
Fires.
Oh, fires. Yeah.
So I'd say like getting this camera fixed, you know, like I don't want to be shooting a music video and then it's like my camera's not working and then they're seeing me turn it upside down and hitting it and stuff. I'm like, yo, we paid this guy what to shoot this video? Dude, 1 second, I'm watching a tutorial. The camera don't turn on. Let me hit it upside down and stuff. So fixing that or getting that situated, the computer in the recording studio, getting that situated, fixed and back up and running, and then like getting people in the studio, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So ads too. You gonna do more ads? Or how are you gonna tackle that? Getting people in the studio?
Ads for sure. One side, like right now, I wouldn't even want to touch ads just knowing that like the computer right now is so wishy-washy that, you know, it was gone for 6 days, came back. He did one session, and at the end of his session, he was saying that, yeah, man, the last 30 minutes, the computer started messing up. I tried to turn it on, turn it off.
Damn.
It was messing up. And I'm like, that's the last thing I want is, you know, a customer to come here and be like, go home to their friend and they're like, yo, how'd the session go? It's like, it went good, but their equipment was all messing up. It's like, what? How much, was it a cheap ass studio? No. Oh, so you paid for that and the computer didn't work. What the hell?
So making sure everything is all the way together first.
Yeah. So I would say this week is like getting that shit together, getting caught up on these clips with the episodes.
For sure.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying these clips on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah. Any suggestions, please let us know.
Yeah. But it feels good. This is episode 13.
13.
So 13 episodes.
Yeah. How do you feel so far? Good?
Yeah. I like this helps me be consistent in a lot of other areas. And then it's also kind of like, even with my own personal content and stuff, if I get behind, I know that worst case scenario, we're still doing this.
Yeah.
And so this is like no matter what, there's going to be content coming out this year and shit like that. And I think a podcast is a great way to let people know you more as a person than as like a utility.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
That's a good one. Hey, thank you guys for all watch. Thank you all for watching. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're on Spotify, we have 2 reviews. I'm one of them. Have you left a review?
No.
All right, leave a review on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm about to be the 3rd one.
Yep. 5-star review on Spotify. Screenshot it. Send it to us on Instagram. I'm Cracka _lack.
I'm Desko Martin.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All right.